So as you can see behind me, we have a huge pile of clothes because I need to start packing, and I have literally less than 3 days before I have to get on a plane and go to China. So I'm very behind, but today we're going to be productive and organize all of these clothes into a suitcase, which I have over there. And I'm also going to be talking about literally everything on my mind. It's going to be a very unfiltered and kind of chaotic sort of video. So there's a live update that I'm going to be disclosing later in the video, so stick around towards the end of the video for that. So I guess right now I'm just gonna start looking through my clothes because as you can see there's a lot. I know this is maybe not the best way to kind of start packing and everything, but I just asked my mom to help me bring my clothes out, and then she said to put whatever clothes I wanted into the suitcase, so that's what we're gonna do. So here I have a Coca-Cola shirt. Do I want this? Maybe. I think I'm just gonna put this on the table for now. And then just kind of organizing everything. I definitely want my IB sweatshirt, class of 2024. So I guess right now, the main thing, is it possible to regret something that you haven't even done yet? I don't know. I'm just trying to like kind of process everything because I was actually texting someone recently who DM'd me on Instagram, and she told me that she was also going to college for graduate school in China, and she was going to Shanghai Jiao Tong, which is actually where my dad went. So that was super cool, but she was just kind of saying how like ever since she made that decision, she's been kind of regretting it almost. And I think it's pretty interesting just because like I've honestly felt the same way to some extent. I'm like questioning like, was this the right decision? And it's just kind of ironic because I haven't actually like done anything to see if that was the right decision, and I'm already regretting it. Like I haven't even experienced it yet, and I'm already having doubts. But I think that's just kind of like human nature, I guess, in terms of like being scared. And when you're scared, you're putting like that pressure on yourself, and that pressure just continues to build up. And so even though you haven't actually like experienced that thing, you might feel like you made the wrong decision just because it's like foreign and something that you haven't ever been exposed to almost. And so you're just like, it's unfamiliar, and things that are unfamiliar often scare us. I feel like change scares us, and I'm definitely not the exception to that rule, and I'm extremely scared if I'm gonna be completely honest. And also just like sharing my journey and like my situation with the internet is also a bit scary, but I think it's nice to have it to look back and like document later down the line, which will definitely be pretty entertaining to watch, I imagine. But here we have a Plano East NHS shirt. Do I want this? I don't know. I think it's always nice to have another pair of long sleeves, I guess, but I'll just put this on the table as well. I feel like I'm going to, by the end of this video, I'm gonna have like all of the clothes that I want, like this is gonna be empty, and then all of the clothes are over here, and then I'm actually gonna want all of the clothes. But because like, you know, a girl can never have too much clothes, right? But anyways, so yeah, that's like one of my main things right now, and I'm just like really scared to leave home and go to a completely new country, which I've discussed in another video, or I guess 2 videos in detail about why I'm moving to China, so check those out if you guys are interested in learning a little bit more about that. But we're not going to go into too much detail for that. And then another thing is just kind of like, it's been weird because my brother started school 2 weeks ago, and my friends, a lot of my friends have already went to college, so like on Insta, I'm seeing everyone post their videos and their Instagram posts and their stories and stuff about being in college, being in a dorm, all that stuff, which is absolutely amazing. But I've just kind of been like, it feels a bit off, I guess, because I'm still here, you know, it's like I'm the one left behind. And I also have a very dear friend that is in a similar situation, and we're actually leaving for college on the same day. So if you're watching this, said friend, please let me know down below in the comments, because I'm going to miss you a lot. And thank you so much for hanging out with me while everyone is already in college, because, you know, we have to keep each other company. But yeah, also I don't know if you're actually gonna watch this, but it's whatever. So we have this kind of like white fleece like kind of curtain thingy, a shawl almost. I don't know if I would actually wear this because like I feel like it's fashionable and it's like comfortable, but it does take up a lot of space, and it's only applicable in the winter, but it does get kind of cold in baking, so I feel like I'm gonna get this one too. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to fit all of this in the suitcase, actually. That is gonna be, let me show you the suitcase actually real quick. This is the suitcase that I've been allocated to pretty much fit all of my clothes, and I don't really know if that's going to work out if I end up actually taking all of them. Okay, so I have like a pretty decent stack right here of clothes, and I guess let's go ahead and transfer these over to the suitcase. Okay, so we have all of these clothes over here. Let me see if I can bring you guys up. Okay, we're still recording. So I'm going to see if I can... I feel like I should have been a little bit more strategic about planning out how I'm gonna organize everything into the suitcase, but let's try. This is definitely not gonna be enough space. I'm going to say that right now. And I mean, when people pack for college, they usually bring like huge like plastic portable containers, like huge plastic containers of like clothes and like stuff. So I mean, I don't think that it's very reasonable to just have this one suitcase, so I'm going to talk to my mother about that in just a little bit. Let's just go ahead and put these clothes in that we have so far, because especially for the winter clothes, they're going to take up a lot more space. So I don't really know how this is going to play out, but we shall see. And we're back. We're going to keep looking through these clothes. I guess another main thing that I'm like that's on my mind right now, that has honestly always been kind of on my mind, is just like not being able to keep up with the work and the schoolwork and all of that stuff. Because I mean, in high school I think I did fairly well in classes and things like that. Like I got pretty good grades. I was able to take pretty high level classes and keep up with my classmates, I would say. I wasn't ever like stressing out too much about academics in terms of like whether I was performing up to the level that I wanted to be at. But of course I would say the main thing is just like I felt like I had to work like 10 times harder to get to the place where I was academically compared to some of my classmates, and that was always like really hard, I guess, just because like I feel like I'm not like a stupid person obviously, but just like it's a lot harder, I think, for me to learn things because I just need time to process it, and I'm not someone who just naturally gets things like with the snap of your fingers. Once you learn it, for example, in math, I would always have to like do extra practice and take the extra time to kind of process what was going on. I couldn't just understand it like after a lesson or a course in a lecture. And granted, our math teacher talked like extremely fast, and he taught really fast as well, so I think that might have been part of it too. Oh, and here's these matching pants for the Coca-Cola shirt, which I will be taking as well, because who doesn't want a matching Coca-Cola outfit, right? But anyways, yeah, I just feel like it's harder when you're smart, but you're not that smart. And I know that some people are going to be like,
stop complaining, like you're already in a great situation, like you shouldn't feel bad or anything.
But I think it's just something that because like I think there's always going to be someone that's smarter than you, right? And there's not really much you can do about that. And I just going into college, I feel like I'm going to be kind of like nervous again, because I'm going to be surrounded by a bunch of smart people, and then also the fact that those people I'm going to be learning in Mandarin, and those people, their first language is Mandarin, and so that's going to put me at an even greater disadvantage, I guess. And I'm trying to find ways to kind of cope with that, I guess, and hopefully everything does work out and I'm able to adjust accordingly. But I think it's just a matter of realizing that there's always going to be someone better than you, or just kind of realize, I think it's the mindset, really. Just being satisfied with where you're at and not comparing yourself to too many people, and not giving into your insecurities, because that's something that I've definitely struggled with in the past, and I think many other people have too. So I'm just trying to change my mindset, I guess, and think more positively about the experience and just look forward to things. And also going back to like the regret thing that I mentioned earlier, I feel like there's no sense in regretting like a decision that you've already made, and the best thing that you can really do is just to continue going forward. I just feel like I feel like I'm stressing myself out too much, and I know that some people in the YouTube comments have mentioned that I need to just kind of like stop worrying, but I guess a good trait of mine is being able to worry a lot, and I'm just trying to calm down and everything, but there's just a lot going on, I feel like, and it's a lot to process for sure. But I feel like everybody has gone through this, or a lot of people have gone through this. A lot of people have gone through having to go to college. A lot of my friends have already gone to college, and so I can do it too. And I just need to hold myself accountable for what I can control. And the fact that I'm not extremely smart isn't something that I can change necessarily. And I think I don't need to change the fact that I'm not super smart. I just need to take advantage of what I already have and the resources that I already have and try my best, because at the end of the day, that's all we can really do, I feel like. And we have this CCM Dallas black long sleeve shirt, which I played hockey, for anybody that didn't know, but I played competitive hockey for a little bit, and that was a really fun experience. I might actually also go and play hockey at Peking University for a little bit, depending on how the situation goes and everything like that. But yeah, and let's see, I also have a dress here. I don't know if I need a dress necessarily, but I think it'd be nice to just have like one red dress. It's not, there's straps here that can be like tied on, but that's besides the point. I'll just pack this as well. So, what are you doing?
What does it look like I'm doing?
You want to come down and sit and talk to the camera?
No.
No? He's eating a yogurt parfait. But anyways, let's continue packing. I lost track of I lost track. Okay, so I have these pants too. Nice pants. I think I'm gonna pack these too. I feel like at the rate that I'm going to be here for a while, because there's still a mountain of clothes over here, and I'm nowhere near like ready to pick up with everything, but maybe. Yeah, it was for you, so. Oh yeah, my brother just asked if he can keep Bevo. This was for UT. The little mascot thing. It's like a pillow thing, so I will not be taking that because Eric wants it, and that's totally fine. And yeah, I guess just all in all, I can't believe that I'm going to college. Like, I'm moving to a college dorm, I'm moving to a new environment, I'm leaving my family. That's gonna be very scary, but I think it's going to be a fun experience for sure. Now to address that life update that I talked about earlier in the video. Basically, I've decided that I'm not going to commit myself to a career in medicine just yet, because I know that in my previous videos I talked about applying to BSMD programs. I talked about wanting to go to the medical school in China and maybe transferring to that, but I just feel like after I've thought about it a lot, I feel like I'm not ready to commit myself to a career in medicine. I'm not 1000% sure that I want to be a physician, and so I want to kind of have the opportunity to explore other careers and other areas of expertise in like various different fields, because I feel like there are just so many careers out there that some people don't even know about. And I feel like I feel like there are also a lot of things that are questionable about the healthcare, or that could be fixed and adjusted about the healthcare. There are definitely parts that may not be the most beneficial for physicians, just because of how the healthcare system is set up right now, with a lot of physician burnout, depression rates, and things like that. Of course, I'm not a huge expert on this whole situation, but I have done a little bit of research into that, and also just the lifestyle of the physician. I'm not sure if I want to commit myself to that. And another thing is just kind of like, because I've realized that as a physician, you're constantly going to be engaging with patients that are often very sick or in a not so awesome aspect of their lives, just because they're at the hospital, they're going to visit a doctor, there most likely is something wrong, unless of course you're like a OBGYN and you're looking at the pregnant women who are having babies, which is always amazing, but even then there can be complications that arise. And so because of that, I don't know if I would truly thrive in that kind of environment. But of course, there are pros and cons to like any career really, and so that's not to say that in other careers I won't experience this kind of like negativity, but I just feel like I want to help people, and that was like the main thing that I wanted to help patients during the hardest parts of their lives, but I also never really considered how difficult it would be on my mental health and on my ability to care for myself and my family, because I really prioritize, like, I really want a stable and like loving family, and I'm afraid that as a physician I won't have enough time and energy to dedicate to my family that I would otherwise want to. And that's not to say that I want to be like a housewife or anything, but I'm just kind of like on the fence whether I want to commit myself to, because being a physician is such a long journey. It takes such a long time. I do feel like a large part of me still wants to be a doctor, but it's just not something that I'm ready to commit to yet. And that's just kind of like where I'm at right now, honestly. I've considered different careers like finance and like investment banking, I guess. And also like I wanted to be a writer for a very long time, and I've honestly always been more of a humanities person. And I think that honestly a lot of medicine is humanistically based, if that's a word. It's like because you're interacting with the patients and there's a very human aspect of it, but there's also a very heavy science part about being a doctor, which I just don't know if that attracts me so much and if I would really enjoy it. There's just a lot of uncertainty, and I would say given how diverse my interests are, can I have some? And so I just think that given how diverse my interests are, it just wouldn't be the smartest move to commit to medicine and say, yes, I'm going to be a doctor. And that's another reason why I decided not to go to the Texas Tech BSMD that I was accepted into. It was an amazing program, like amazing campus. I thought the vibes weren't too bad. And obviously I had that guarantee acceptance into med school, that seat, assuming that I maintained like a 3.6 GPA and all my academics were in relatively good standing. But just there are so many things out there, and I want to keep an open perspective and open opportunities, which is another reason why I decided to do the study abroad in the first place in China, because I wanted like those opportunities, those experiences, being able to connect with different people, different cultures, a different language. And it's going to be extremely difficult, but I think that just having that opportunity to not be restricted to one path is something that's very risky. And I'm honestly a very risk-aversive person, but I just think that in retrospect, I feel like I would regret it more if I didn't try that. I still have a lot of clothes to sort through, but I don't want to keep you guys for too long. I think I've talked about a lot of things on my mind, and honestly, I've been more talking than really sorting through my clothes. So I'm just gonna leave it there, and if you guys enjoyed this video and are looking forward to more content about my adventures in China and stuff like that, then I would really appreciate if you could subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.